All right. Welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I am your host, Tim Lyons, in studio in the sunny Scottsdale AZ HQ of the ProFit and Pulse Fitness. Here joined, as always, by the conqueror of courage, Randy Angston. What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Yes. Just did some photo shoots today for YouTube. So our YouTube's going to get a little remodel. So if you don't know this, we do have a YouTube channel. You can actually watch these episodes on YouTube. Over 100 now, kind of a big deal.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, pretty cool, man. We're when did we start? This is so this episode's out in March. We started like March last year.
Close to a year ago. Yep.
Yeah, because I'm seeing photos of,
Yep.
of like, the 1
the
year
podcast coming together.
Yeah,
the room. Yep.
Totally cool. So thank you guys for supporting us this long. We wouldn't be doing this if you didn't like it, and sounds like you like it. And
Yeah.
our goal, again, our mission here is to help gym owners win. That's why we do this. We give as much value and as much tactical information as possible. These topics come from being in the gym business for 10 years, but plus the day-to-day stuff that we're doing on coaching. And in this episode, we're going to actually take you a little bit behind the scenes of our Iron Circle event that we had just about a month ago. Just about a month ago now. Where we had our Iron Circle fly-in. We do our round tables, and we, basically everybody got a chance to get up and speak about, really the biggest needle movers in their business and things they're struggling with. And that's really the benefit of having a quote-unquote mastermind, but a coalition of gym owners that are at a specific level. And that's really the key, is that you've got to be in the Iron Circle, you have to be at least making $400,000 or more, because the conversation changes. We're not talking about where to find a coach anymore. We're talking about, tax savings and all kinds of cool stuff at that level. And so we just want to talk about what we did at that event, kind of some of what people shared with us, if we can remember.
Yeah.
We don't have many notes, but there's some big takeaways for sure. And but before we do that, quick two announcements. We've got the CLAcourse.com. That's our automation course. We're hot and heavy in that. We're adding videos to that daily. And you can check that out at CLA Course. And then we're announcing our next workshop, April 23rd and 24th in Chandler, Arizona. You can go to pfmarketingsolutions.com/automation for that. You get more information on that. And then really, when it comes to our automation, kind of really lay this out there. We have a good, better, best.
Yep.
Okay. So the good is the course, the better is the workshop, and the best is I'm going to build this thing for you. You fly out here for 2 days in the gym. You can check out the podcast studio. Hell, we may even have you.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. And where I'll build this thing out for you custom to make sure that by the time you're done, this thing's rocking it and rolling. Same thing happens in the workshop, but you're actually doing it yourself.
Yeah, a different model is following along. You're in the mix in the classroom setting doing it, as opposed to one-on-one, side-by-side with you. That's obviously where there's the most proprietary build. It is hyper custom.
Yeah, it's awesome. And so we've got we have our support group that goes with that.
Yep.
So after those events, we do a whole month of support calls, and it's a really good program. So if you're interested in checking out either of those, you can go to those websites, CLAcourse.com or pfmarketingsolutions.com/automation, and you can check out all the snazzy details. Something else, we're still looking for a podcast sponsor. Hopefully a good whiskey brand wants to pick this up. We will be happy to have them on the show, and we'll talk about them. But yeah, one of the things we don't do, and we haven't, and it's not that we not opposed to it, but we haven't done sponsorships.
We haven't. Yeah, it's never been a focus, obviously, from our intention, getting this off the ground and getting it out there. 100 episodes in now, but our focus has always been just delivering good value.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of, put that on our shoulders up through this point. But if someone else wants to help along, hey, we're not opposed.
Yeah, especially whiskey brands.
Yeah, especially whiskey.
One thing I think I will tell you is, if you are doing marketing for yourself, and let's be honest, this is marketing. This is marketing at its core. Don't be afraid to give away the good stuff. And that's something I struggled with years ago, was like, well, if I give everybody my secret sauce, then they're not going to want to hire me for anything. And there's so much secret sauce now that I'm happy to share some of it, and there's plenty more to go around after that. So
Yeah, and I think it kind of works the opposite way. You know what I mean? That we've found that the more we give, the more inclined people are to actually work with us. You know, you're building that like, trust, respect factor. People, we've given away value to individuals who've implemented some strategies, moved the needle in their business, and therefore it's social proof. It provides them with the comfort of, hey, this works.
Yeah.
You know, maybe these guys know something.
Something. I don't know what it is. So let's get right into the episode now that you've listened to us jibble-jabble for a minute. Jibbling. I'll just start with what I talked about because,
Sure.
you know, part of being in the Iron Circle is for myself, right? I want to go in and share and ask for help and all kinds of cool stuff in there. So I get the sounding board. And then one of the biggest needle mover for us I guess it was really over the last 6 months, so kind of spanning 2 years now. But it was, you know, our focus, we simplified everything. Like, when we got rid of some, you know, of our membership levels and we stopped trying to be, and we talked about a couple episodes, everything to everybody, and we really focused in on who's generating the most revenue for our business, what does that client look like, what membership are they on, what's their value, and we now have data that will give us that using iKismet, using through Mind Body. If you haven't heard us talk about iKismet, IKIZMET, just throw a plug out there, pfmarketingsolutions.com/data. pfmarketingsolutions.com/data will give you the link to hook up with them, and they'll get you a great deal. But some of the coolest stats come out of that now that, you know, we're in it and we're using it on a daily basis. I can tell you using the stats. So again, my biggest driver was data-driven business. You know, I can say the clients that are in this specific membership stay the longest, they use the facility the most, and they're worth the most. And then I can go over into another screen and I can say, who are these people in this membership? Okay, out of those people, they're at this age group, they're at this demographic, and these are the zip codes they live in.
I love it.
How powerful is that, guys? Like, if you're not diving that deep into your data, you're missing the boat. Like, I'm giving you guys what I talked about in the group was, here's how I do it, here's why I do it, and these are the decisions I made.
Yeah, that's the important part. Is now that you've interpreted the data,
right?
What do you do with that information? You know what I mean? So that goes back into your marketing efforts. It goes back into the structuring the classes, who you're attracting. I mean, you guys have been able to eliminate some classes, reduce the schedule, make sure that we've talked about utilization. That's a big thing that I don't think a lot of gym owners think about is, you know, if you don't own your building and you're paying rent for every single hour that business exists.
Right.
And so if you're not utilizing things like your quiet hours to find ways of making money.
You know, and somebody in the Iron Circle talked about using, and I think Shauna was part of this, like, what can you do after hours on weekends?
Yeah.
Can you rent your space out to a business group that just wants to use the space and get to gather? Maybe it's on a Sunday afternoon, or maybe it's a self-defense course that, you know, in the afternoon or at nights at 6 p.m. on, and you're not that busy, or 7 p.m. on, they want to use it for 2 hours and they pay for it. You know, exactly what you said. You're paying rent 24/7.
Yeah.
So what can you do in those off hours? One of the things that we thought we were going to do with this podcast studio is kind of have a 24-hour podcast studio where people can come and use the podcast studio at 3 p.m. But we got greedy and we didn't want anybody using our stuff, so we stopped thinking that way. But that was another thing that we were thinking, okay, we have square footage here. Nothing's happening from, 6 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, there's 12 hours of the day that we could be renting the studio out, but nah. No thanks. We'll just keep our stuff.
Right.
Yeah, they'll drink all our whiskey anyway.
Yeah, I don't want them touching our mics, rubbing their whiskers all over our stuff.
Yeah, these are our mics. So that was one thing. Another big thing that we did was we simplified everything from our automations. When I rebuilt the CLA, right? When I rebuilt it for the masses, I did the same thing for Pulse.
Correct.
And I cleaned up all the 10 years of just garbage, and we simplified it to this one thing that our front desk knows how to use, our Zach, our fitness director, knows how to use, our coaches know how to use, I know what to look at, and everything's right there. So simplification for us was our focus. And then number 3, and last but not least, was net profit. Like, everything we're doing in our business is to drive net profit. So if it's the best memberships, reducing expenses. We look at our expense reports every month. We get rid of old subscriptions we're not using or anything that's not driving an ROI.
Just how many subscriptions of Microsoft did we have?
Yeah, exactly. I think I had 7 different subscriptions. Like, what are we doing? So yeah, we had our IT guy come in. He consolidated up. Yeah, I consolidated it up into one card. All the computers are on one account. It's beautiful. So that was my big thing.
I think overall, just to touch on that, one of the reasons that I love the Inner Circle versus the other coaching opportunities that we have, Iron Circle, is the fact that, like you said, that threshold, the conversation in that room was entirely different than most fitness business conversation. Yeah. It is next level. Your net profit. You know, we talked about it a few episodes ago, probably a month and a half ago, when we first made it known that that's kind of your focus this year. Mm-hmm. You know, gross profit in a business is great, but it really doesn't do anything other than your ego. It doesn't feed anything other than your ego. Yeah. You know, it's not what you make, it's what you keep type of thing. So I loved that because it was a thread. The individuals in that room all saw value in that profit. It's a focus of every single one of theirs as well. Yeah. And then it tied also into the conversation with Shauna. We had Shauna to speak.
Our tax goddess came in and just blew the friggin' doors off with her stuff. Yeah. I didn't know there were so many accounting. How many accounting methods were there? She said 82 accounting methods. But
and guys, what he means by that is just ways of like looking at your numbers.
Well, that and like for instance, there's there was the standard one. There was profit first, and then there was the fire and the rise, and there was all these. Like, whoa, I didn't know.
That was an awesome method. I mean, super simple for putting away. You know, knowing what you need to retire.
Yep.
That was an awesome. Shauna every time she steps into a room just blows minds, like you said. But
she doesn't know how good she is sometimes. She doesn't.
Well, her resume does, but no,
she doesn't realize how freaking smart she is. Mm-hmm. So. That was good to have her as a guest speaker. We had some other people jump in and talk about stuff. And before I go on, we're in a position now. It's time. You know, our lease here is about 18 months out. We're looking at buying buildings.
Yes.
And in this area, there's nothing really appealing. So we're going to develop land, and that's kind of the next thing for us. Mm-hmm. And what I told everybody, and I'll tell this to everybody that's listening on the show, I'm not sold on the fact that my gym's going to make me super wealthy.
Sure.
I just don't see it. Like,
sure.
You know, you're gonna make money and you can put some money away, but it's in the grand scheme of things, it's peanuts. In the grand scheme.
I agree. In the big picture,
you know,
sure.
I'm sure out there's plenty of people that would look at me and be like, "Holy, you know, this guy he's got everything he needs." I'm like, but for me, no. So for me, I see my future and wealth in real estate. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the wealthiest people in the world, they're doing the same thing. So why wouldn't I? Because we're paying rent to a landlord that owns this building, and he's paying his note off, or maybe he owns it, he's just pocketing the cash and he's using it for other stuff. When we own the building, we're paying ourselves.
Yeah.
So instead of paying a landlord, we're paying the mortgage and building the asset, and we're actually paying ourselves because the building value.
Yeah.
Right? So why wouldn't you? So if you have an opportunity, I really suggest gym owners, if you're in this for the long haul and you're planning on being around for the next 10, 15, 20 years, look at buying a building or two. We're building a shopping center. That's kind of our goal. We're going to be landlords.
Subleasing.
It's a big, giant investment. But what else have we done that's small? You know, like this is what I'm doing.
The studio here, you know, this table.
Yeah, everything's big. So that's something to kind of give you guys a little heads up on. Like, go look and see if there's land, or buy a shopping center. There's guys in the STS that own their buildings and own shopping centers. I know Jason DeRosa owns the whole strip, which is cool. It's exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Yep.
I know Evan in our Iron Circle, he's looking at buying his center. You know, there's people that are buying just their condo within the building. That's something that you can do. But anyways, I really suggest you look at that. And there's programs out there, SBA loans and stuff like that, for you guys can do that. So that was my whole 30 minutes of the event. So that was mine. Let's talk about other people. So Kelly Scott's out of Maryland. She has a really cool concept, Forever Strong. Yeah. So it's, what I liked about what she's doing is she has like a proprietary program. So it's not just the workouts, it's the program in the workouts. And so you can't get that anywhere else. She put a name on everything. She puts her own unique
it's proprietary
name. And she said she did it on purpose, which I would probably agree to, but I would think that most people don't do it on purpose.
Sure.
You should do it on purpose.
Well, they don't see the value in what that's actually doing for them.
So let's just give it, I don't even know what the name of it was now, but it was like, call it the Forever Strong method, just for lack of not knowing. So in our Forever Strong method, we're going to hit this, and this. It was like build, burn,
sweat or something. Yeah, I know.
Build, burn, sweat. And in the burn section, we're going to be doing this. And over these workouts, and you're going to get this, and this. And then, it's a 9-week program, which is odd, but it's like a 9-week program, and you have to go through all these in order. So if you're on workout 3 and it's week 2, you're on workout 3. Then you're on workout 4. And that was cool because it reminded me back when I was playing college football, there was this acceleration camp here. And it was built just the same way. You had 15 sessions, and each session worked on a different thing. And the end goal was, and their guarantee was they're going to guarantee 2/10 off your 40 time. The guarantee.
Yep.
And if you don't get it, they're going to keep working with you until you do. And for me, so if you're here's a takeaway: if you're a sports performance place, if you can guarantee a 2/10 reduction on somebody's 40 time, do it. If you feel, just in our start alone, coming off the line, you can save 2/10. Instead of standing straight up, you're driving forward at a 45 degree, whatever it is. So like, if you're doing sports performance and speed training, use that as your hook, guys. Use it, because kids in football, 40 times everything. Everybody's, what's your 40?
Yep.
What's your bench? What's your 40? So that was her cool thing. She said a lot of cool stuff. Who else?
I liked Kelly's, even back to our growth summit. Kelly was one of the few people when we were going around the room asking our goals. I actually loved her response, because it was the fact that she wanted to make twice the money and work half the time. Yeah. And I was like, well, damn, nobody else in the room has the balls to say that. You know what I mean? Because everybody desires something like that.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, why wouldn't you want to maximize the time that you're spending in your business? But at the end of the day, there are massive things that need to happen in order for something like that to take place. So where she's doing well. I love what she's doing over there. Who else was talking about? We talked about debt in the business.
Bad debt. Yeah.
Yep.
Who has debt?
Who has debt? Who's operating without any? But yes, the difference between good and bad debt. Shauna had spoke on that a little bit.
Yep.
I know Jeff is actually another one that was in the room looking for. He's still shopping, trying to purchase his building. I mean, just thinking about like the conversation in that room. It's not, hey, here's how you create a sales process or conversation. Here's the program design. Like none of that happens. If you're in that room, all of that is figured out.
Yeah. The Washak brothers talked about customer experience. They tie their music and their beats per minute to the workouts.
Evan's doing the same thing with the lighting in his facility.
Yeah.
The customer experience.
Yeah,
exactly.
Here's a great example. Evan, who we went out there and did his build out for CLA, but he was in the middle of construction, and he totally remodeled this whole place, because his big competition was apparently Orange Theory. They're all over his town, and he's losing clients. So he's like, man, I got to bring that Orange Theory-esque experience, but make it ours. And so he's got My Zone, and his colors of his lights go to the music and go to the My Zone that they're supposed to be in. It's all choreographed, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I don't think I'll do it, because this just seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
But he needed to battle and combat the experience that they're getting other places. So that was his takeaway that he's been doing. He's a developer. He's created his own app that ties into Mind Body. It brings all these different softwares into one app. So like the big challenge when he was signing people, I was like, okay, go download this app, and then I need you to do your food logs in this app, and then this app is going to be kind of your workouts in this one, and then you schedule in this one. He's brought, here's InBody. So he's brought all of that into one single app, and he kind of offered it for the Iron Circle at a discount for just to get it off the ground. And I'm looking at it because there's some cool stuff you can do with the app. So it's a MindBody app. So if you already have the MindBody branded app, this would replace that. and then bring in MyZone, bring in InBody data, bring in MyFitnessPal and food logs and workout programming from your Alloy app, and all of it's in one.
Yeah.
It's like, holy moly. You can do push notifications that has a scrolling feed, so he can post and his members can post to it, and it's like almost like a mini Facebook.
Yeah.
Just for the gym.
Which is huge. And what I love about that is not, again, right back to why that room is so powerful. You know, he got, not only did he get feedback, but he had, I'm sure that room helped develop the ideas of what needs to go into this as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, between the Growth Summit and that, and obviously, you know, that group, we talk almost daily on Voxer, and we've got our Facebook group and things like that. But what he's able to do is next level stuff. You know what I mean? That's something that it's a business opportunity for him that developed in his four walls, and now he's taking that to other facilities and being able to help them raise the bar there. So, and that's a lot of it. It's realizing in the same situation you're in. You know, this is awesome, and these facilities are doing very well, and we're at that level. But what else is there? And there's a lot more. That's really what that Iron Circle is about. It's almost like crowdsourcing creativity. You know what I mean? It's not very. I mean, it is very tactical when you have a situation, but it's so different than a coach. You know what I mean? And I've directed people that are interested in the Iron Circle versus our coaching program, and depending on what they're looking to actually change in their business, it's very definitive on which direction they should go. You know what I mean? If they're in the business and the systems in their business are broken, and they're looking for clarity and they're looking for a fresh set of eyes and things like that, coaching, yeah. You know what I mean? Very specific problems. If they're looking, you know, they know that they're at this level and they want more, but they don't know exactly what that looks like. Yeah. It's more that.
Or if they get a big, like the thing that I liked about it, like, you know, Kelly was up there.
Yep.
She's like, hey, this is my problem. What would you do?
Yeah, the price. We were talking about the price points.
I sat back. There was a point in it, I think I nudged Sean. I was like, this is what it's all about. And I was like, look at this interaction happening between different gyms, no competition.
Yeah.
And like, here's what I would do. Like, do this, this, and this. And she's like, yeah. And then, Evan chimes in, yeah, well, what about this? And then John jumps in and like, yeah, this is good, but then let's do this on top of that. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. And so she solved a massive problem, and she takes it home, and she's gonna obviously facilitate.
Benefit from and that's exactly it. It's the collective. You know, it's cool. It's the participants in the group that's where all the value is. It's not just a written follow along type of thing.
No,
I mean, it's wild, some of the ideas and things that we're coming up with.
So Iron Circle, guys, if you're interested in that, I'd be happy to chat with you more, get on a call with us. Just shoot us a text or email or whatever, or pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. That'll give you some more info. I mean, really the rules of engagement for this kind of product for us is $400K or more. Business is operational and profitable. You're looking for bigger ideas and you have bigger things to, you know, like what's outside of the gym.
Yep.
Yeah. If your gym's doing great and you want to do something else, like for instance, you know, Fit in 42, that's Casey and Jerry's. They have a licensing brand they sell to other gyms. Evan's got his app. We do ProFit. You know, what else? Who else has it?
Well, I mean, like Kelly just launched another location, so that's, you know, an expansion of the business that she had.
Right.
A little bit different, right? It's got its own unique challenges and things like
John Farkas is working on the 100-day experience, and so we're gonna probably partner with him and bring that into our CLA, the first 100 days of the member experience, the scripts, the emails, the texts, every step. To get somebody
to over deliver on.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm seeing the Iron Circle become, is more of a, gyms are great, these are our problems, let's fix this, but we're good here, let's move into some bigger things.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it a lot of fun. And plus I use it, you know, as a sounding board for my stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you said, you've been transparent about that from our inception, right? That's part of the benefit of bringing in.
Yeah, Iron Circles, gosh, it's becoming something really cool. We just started it right away. I mean, after our last Growth Summit, we just had our first, you know, couple people join, but it's growing, and man, I'm looking forward to bringing some new people in on that.
Yeah, it's gonna be even more exciting, obviously, with each new addition.
We're not really marketing it. We're just talking about it, and you know, and I'm sure the guys and girls in that group want some more people in it.
Sure.
I mean, sure. I mean, if you fit the mold, let's chat.
Yeah, reach out.
Great to have you in there. A couple cool things when you're in the Iron Circle. I will tell you there's something, you know, what I basically take the Iron Circle and we give them everything that we offer.
Yep.
So you're not paying for the workshops, or you're not paying for GPS. You're not paying for the coaching stuff. You get all of it. You're just in the Iron Circle with me.
Correct.
You're with me, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little behind the scenes of what that's all about. And then, obviously went to dinner, and then everybody went into the workshop the next day, and we had, Shauna, and she gave us some massive tactical advice on how to keep the damn money you're making, and it's just cool stuff. So
well, and if we wanted to talk about the specifics of it, I mean, with the bonuses, and the things that we're including as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that's essentially the cost of
those things
of the group. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, like it's an even wash essentially. If you were to pay for the workshops throughout a year,
yep,
you'd essentially be paying for the inner circle. So it's a win-win for those that are at that level, looking to grow, looking for the next level.
And that's the tough part. Like,
absolutely.
If you're not there, then we're probably better off in doing coaching, and you can work yourself into it.
Yep.
Which is cool. But anyways, you figure if we throw that out there, we don't talk about the Iron Circle enough. I think we should.
Yeah, it's kind of it's almost like the exclusive. It's the VIP. It's the behind the curtains.
It's the Illuminati.
Yeah, that's it. It's the Illuminati of fitness. Great,
yeah, great.
This is the next.
Jay-Z
dude, I can't. Somebody's gonna. That
I don't even know what Illuminati means, dude.
2 months from now, that is gonna be somebody's coaching program in fitness.
Oh, they're gonna take the Illuminati. Okay, whatever. But so yeah, guys, thanks for listening to the episode. Yeah, and if you have any questions with anything, love to hear from you. Thank you so much for the comments. We'll keep this podcast rolling as long as you'll have us. Until next time, guys, keep changing lives. We'll see you. Bye.